I'm Edie Lush. I'm here in the studio. It's Davos 2023. Very pleased to be here with Neeraj Aggarwal. Thanks for coming by.
Edie, thank you for having me.
You are the regional chair for Asia Pacific for BCG. So I wonder what keeps leaders that you speak to awake at night in these times?
So look, I'm listening as I'm talking to the leaders. I'm picking up a few things. Maybe if I pick my top three. Number one is the playbook that they had for the past coming into this year. A playbook where interest rates were low, a playbook where the world was geopolitically more predictable, a playbook where, in general, there was less uncertainty, is a playbook which is not working anymore. So they're saying we need a new playbook, we don't know what it is. So that's point number one. The number two is they made many commitments on climate and sustainability targets, and some of them have been quite audacious, but a bit of a reality is sinking in, saying, oh my gosh, what did I sign up for, and how do I really make it happen?
Right.
So I think that'd be the number two. And the third is, over the last 3 to 5 years, digital has been a big swing factor. It's really kept the businesses going in this period of the pandemic. But they're saying that, have we really got the advantage of the digital? Have we really juiced it? And I think 7 out of 10 CEOs, if I was to crudely say, are still deeply unsatisfied with what they're getting out of it.
Interesting. Okay, so some big challenges there. What's your advice for them?
So if I again take these 3 points which I made.
So number one, playbook.
Number one, playbook. Okay, let's go with that in that order. So playbook. So look, this is not a period where you make 5-year plans. I would not jettison that idea right away. This is going to be a really topsy-turvy world. So what at least I've been telling them is keep your eye on the ball for the very short term. Right? I mean, and read signals well and respond. Read, listen, respond very fast. And at max have a 3-year window to outward planning. But I think in 6 months, we'll learn a heck of a lot. And then you can start planning a bit further out and keep markers which tell you, are you leaning this way or that way? That's one thing I would say. So sense and adapt.
Okay, sense and adapt. Number two, climate. Audacious climate goals. What about that one?
So I think the way I parse that is essentially when people look at the puzzle, they say there are 3 parts to the puzzle. Part one, easy. I can do it. I buy renewable electricity. I buy recycled paper. I reduce the quantity of paper. That kind of stuff is easy. This is a part where I have a dependency on somebody else. Sustainable aviation fuel. I can't do it. Right. Somebody else is hopefully solving. But there's a middle, which is very tough, which needs continuous improvement over a bunch of dimensions. So I focus a lot on the middle and say that's the hard part. Often it's what they call scope 3. They're working with their suppliers, their customers, and all of those. So, but that is the one which needs a transformative mindset and do not expect any easy wins. This is something which I tell them a story actually. I don't know if you have time. There's a story about a British cycling team which never won any Olympic medal for 100 years. In 2003, they said, look, we need to fundamentally change our game, and we have never, to the extent that big cycling companies stopped selling cycles to them, saying that it will destroy our brand because these guys never win anything. And then they went through a process. They looked at every part of the cycling process and they reimagined everything. And gradually, they became a cycling powerhouse.
Interestingly, they actually take their own pillows and mattresses with them. It's
right.
down to the incremental change of how they sleep and how they recover.
So you know the story well.
As a cyclist, I know it very well.
You know the story well.
Absolutely.
And they won the Tour de France as well, which they never won for a long time.
Amazing. So then number 3, what about challenge number 3, digitalization?
So that one, I think, firstly, people need to be honest. I think there's oftentimes the tech team and the business team are talking on top of each other. They're not having honest conversations. And both are feeling a bit vulnerable. They're feeling, oh my God, I've spent so much money and now my boss wants to show me the change. So they're not even having honest conversations. So what we say is step back. This is not about blame game. This is about really looking at, this is hard. Firstly, this is hard. It's hard because it's not only about the technology, it's also about bringing people along in the change process. So let's have a real baselining on where you are in the journey, what's working, what's not. The real benefits come when all aspects of the puzzle come together. So that's the part you have to work in unison and get going on that.
Neeraj, thanks so much for stopping by the studio. I'm Edie Lush.
Ready?